behalf of the Work Better Now team, I'd like to welcome everybody to Working Better Now, a series on workbetternow.com featuring a Q&A with a successful business leader. And today I'm really thrilled to be joined by Dr. Steve Hoody, CEO of Healthier2gether. Steve, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Great. Let's jump right in, Steve. Tell us a little bit about Healthier2gether.
Well, Healthier2gether is a company really focusing on wellness and weight loss. Probably the largest problem we have health-wise today is really people being overweight or obese. Even in the COVID, 78% of people who were hospitalized or did not recover were overweight or obese. It's huge. It's not really being addressed. So we do it properly. We address the need. People lose weight, they get healthy, and they keep it off. And we're in the process of just expanding that, and not these interesting, funny, cute little weight loss things. This is the real deal. And people get healthier and transforms their lives, transforms the lives of companies, saves everybody money, insurance companies, you name it. It's the best.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me with everything you hear about COVID and the vaccines that you don't hear the media or the government talking about. Look, if you just lose weight, your risks go way down. Thank goodness there's people like you out there helping them with this. Steve,
and quite frankly, there was a fight or a little bit of a battle in doing this because the medical field has its status, it's kind of set. But now insurance companies want to save money, and companies want to save money. So now they're on our side and they want it. So now it's easier to really get it out there because we're not battling the status quo. The status quo is saying, please help us. We can't afford this anymore. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. So Steve, tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to starting Healthier2gether.
Well, my background is, I guess I'll go way back and make it short. I come from a medical family and was on my way to medical school. And at age 22, ready to start medical school. And I was an athlete running 100 miles a week. And I started to get sick. And I got tuberculosis. I got liver disease. My immune system tanked. And the doctors gave me 6 months to live. I spent the next 4 years trying to save my life, doing everything I could. And in that process, I learned a lot about health. And if you wondered, I made it. But what I also learned is I started looking at health in a different way and said, from now on, that's the way I'm going to live my life. And that's the way I'm going to be with every patient. So it's really about how do you get healthy? You really can get healthy. My family, my kids, my patients are healthy. And that's really what started it. Healthier2gether in particular, about 10 years ago, I just saw that the weight problem is getting larger and larger and larger, and I really needed to focus on that because it's really being one of the most significant problems out there in the health field. And so I said, that's what I want to do for the next 20 years.
Gotcha. Oh, fantastic. And do you have physical locations? Is it all remote? Tell us a little bit about what that's like.
2.5 years ago, about a year before COVID, actually, we had 5 locations that I was running around, in and around New York City and Long Island. And then the instrumentation we used to monitor how a patient's doing week by week changed, so that it became, instead of a $1,500 machine, it's $28 that you can get on Amazon. So patients didn't need to come in the office anymore, and they chose not to, which was perfectly fine. So now with half the time, we can see twice as many people and give 5 times better care because they can jump on a metabolic scale. We get their data every single day, graphed, handled, and other data also all virtual. It's so much easier for both parties. So we're all virtual now. I mean, we have an office in the city, but we don't use it much.
It's amazing. So people can go through your program without ever stepping into a medical office, which is amazing today.
Yep, I have patients in Australia, Mexico, New Zealand, I mean, all over the world, as well as around the country. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
And get better care because of it.
Explain that just briefly.
Well, because they don't have to set an appointment, get there, come in, wait. That's all gone. So if a patient I normally see on Mondays at 3 o'clock has a question or something's going on, I don't understand what's happening here, what do I do? We can get them on a Zoom within a couple hours and handle it. Oh, got it. Direct right there, get information. Where before you couldn't have done that. You couldn't do it. And it takes us about half as much time to see 20 or 30 or 40 patients in a day than did before, because it's automated. So much easier.
That's amazing. Steve, tell us a little bit about what your team looks like.
Our team right now is I have two main people working with me. We're about to expand that now. I mean, as far as patient care, I have a marketing team and things like that also. And they're really people who are helping speak with the patients, understand what the patients need, know how to look at the numbers of what's going on with the patient, and to analyze that, to help coach the patients and then direct them what they need, and to create that relationship. All about creating the relationship with the patient.
Right. So I would imagine, especially since everything's remote, or I guess telehealth, technology must be a really big part of your practice. Can you tell us a little bit about what that evolution was like?
Yeah, the evolution was, yes. Technology is a huge part, and we're still even developing and computerizing more some of the things that we had in the past. And I'm learning, and I think one of the toughest parts was me learning how to do that, because I'm a people person. I can do computer stuff, but I don't like sitting in front of a computer. I love Zooms, but learning the technological things, and thank God, we mentioned before, Natalia, she's been so patient, because she's just taught me, like, every day, oh, just do this. Oh, now you can do that. And now I find myself on a Zoom meeting and someone says, wait a minute, how do I share the screen? Oh, here you go, do this. And how do I, and I can show them, because someone's taking the time to show me, so I can be more technologically advanced. So it's second nature to do this easily. But yeah, it's all being computerized now, but for the good, for the good. I think the, person-to-person meetings are good, but Zoom meetings are very effective. I mean, very, very effective. I don't see, I'd almost, and look, as a doctor, seeing a person and touching a person, I always thought was so important. I don't know, there's something about a Zoom meeting where you can see a person, in their house, and they can have their sweats on, and I almost have to say it's equally personable, because of the comfort zone and the ease of it. And I don't know if I would have said that even a year ago when we started doing it more and more, but now I'm going to say yes, it really is. I mean, I spoke with a patient last night who just had a question. I said, let's get on a quick Zoom. Just got on the link and did it. She was obviously at home hanging out, and I mean, how you get to speak with a person in their environment. It's great. Yeah, it's great.
It's interesting. So you're not a technology person by nature, yet, and it's actually a message very consistent. I don't know if you're familiar with Strategic Coach, amazing program based out of Toronto. Dan Sullivan is the founder there, and he has this expression, who not how, which is, as CEOs, we don't have to figure out how to do everything. We just have to find the who knows how to do the how.
You got it.
And most CEOs just never get there, unfortunately. And those who do are able to, do what you're doing, which is grow your business without opening up locations, which is amazing.
I remember 25 years ago, I was in a flight with someone who wasn't the CEO, but someone very high up in Coca-Cola. And I was on the seat next to him, and he was talking about, we were chatting, and he said, I don't know even how to get an email. I said, well, how do you function? He said, well, I have people to do it. And then I sit down, they tell what I need to do and get it done. He said, if I tried to do everything, I would get nothing done.
Right.
I get certain things done, and I delegate everything else, and it works. And I said, okay, I'm going to start doing more of that also. And you're right. You don't have to do everything. You just have to know who's going to do it and how do we communicate to get it done.
Yeah.
Much more effective.
Fantastic. So you briefly mentioned Natalia, your Work Better Now assistant, who's been working with you now for some time. Tell us a little bit about what that experience has been like.
I mean, it's been like so smooth. My wife asked me, I think last night or the day before, it's like, so how long has Natalia been working? I was like, I don't know, it seemed like 6 months or 9 months. Like, no, it's been like 3 months. It hasn't even been that long, but very, very smooth transition. I think partly just because Zoom is so commonplace. And the other is she's on time every single time. We text or message in between. She's always there. It's like there's never a time when she's not. She communicates beautifully. She's teaching me so much of what I need in help, and I wanted to really a right-hand person who can help with that. She absorbs the information beautifully. We speak freely. I say, hey, tell me, if I'm doing this, or I'm giving you too much, or if I'm, and I mean, I was looking for someone for that position for over 6 months in the US, actively interviewing. And I had a company I was working with who was looking at all of the sites to try and find people. We were getting resumes, and I was even interviewing. I couldn't find anyone. And I think it took 1 week to actually have Natalia start. From the time I called you guys, we had the first interview. I had a second interview. I hired, and she started. In fact, she started the week I had a hip operation. So I was a little bit out of it. And she was working right away through getting things done and handling, like, no problem. We got it. Great experience. I'm recommending, it's like everybody I know when it comes up, say, hey, you gotta, you gotta call Work Better. Because right now, given the environment, this is the way to go.
It's so satisfying hearing that and the impact that she's making. What has having Natalia on your team enabled you and your company to do?
Well, Rob, the biggest thing is it's enabled us to say, okay, I've had the vision where I wanted to go. I had a large multidisciplinary practice with 90 employees, 7 or 8 years ago, and for 20 years, I wanted to build this up to that level again, but I couldn't get the help I needed to do it. And now we have the battle plan again, and we're working toward doing that now, and looks like even on a larger scale. Yeah, very much so. And we'll probably before too long be saying we need to interview more people. Also, that'll be happening.
We'll be ready to help you, Steve.
Yeah.
What do you like to do when you're not working?
I have 4 kids. I love hanging out with my kids. I have a fabulous wife. We've been together 29 years. I love hanging out with her. I got a couple dogs. And, I've been there and done everything. I lived in New York City, Manhattan for 35 years. So I've done a lot of stuff and traveled. It's really being with my family more than anything. I like to stay in shape. I stay in good shape. And I love what I do. So the Zoom calls on before this, we were just talking. I said, if you want to call me on Saturday night or Sunday morning, that's okay also, because it's not really like work. I'm loving this. It's okay. I find time for everything, family and all that stuff, but it's okay because it's not like work to me. It's more like a hobby.
Right. Well, when you love what you do, it's not work.
Yeah.
And in particular, you're really helping people make a big difference. Literally changed our lives. Yeah. Very, 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 very cool. Steve, where can people find out more about you and Healthier Together?
The best way is to go to our website, healthier2gether.com. That's healthier with the number 2, GETHER.com. The website has all kinds of information and tells what we do, tells about our webinars, our phone numbers on there if you want to contact us there also. That's the easiest way. You can even schedule appointments on there with us, and we're there. We will get on with you live. It's totally interactive, very, very interactive. That's the best way. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Steve, thanks so much for sharing your insights with us and taking a few minutes out of your day to speak with the Work Better Now community. And we're really thrilled that Natalia is working out so well with you.
And I want to thank you with how you've put together Work Better. I mean, the whole, it's not just Natalia, it's how you put the whole organization together. And speaking with Jessica, and you make it so easy. I mean, I hear about other organizations and doing some HR and all that. You handle the whole deal. You make it so easy. We can build rapidly. And I can focus on what I'm best at. So I thank you so much.
No, you're more than welcome. By the way, Jessica used to be my assistant for years.
Oh, wow.
She's now the general manager of Work Better Now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the kind of caliber of people that we're fortunate enough to hire.
Absolutely, and that's what I look for, and in our organization also is help people continue to grow and grow. I mean, Natalia could handle huge responsibilities. I mean, yeah.
Well, stay tuned. There's more coming from us on that in a few months, so stay tuned on that. Steve, thanks again.
Thank you so much, Rob. Great speaking.